Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Lead Nudge. I am Silvia, your inclusive leadership mentor. And today we will talk about what to do when you move from being a colleague to being a manager and how to navigate that shift from friend versus boss. This is one of the trickiest transition in leadership. Believe me, I have lived through this and it is awkward because yesterday you were peers, you might have been sharing frustrations about business decisions, you might have been ranting about management over lunch, and today you are management. So all of a sudden there is a new power dynamic, and this might feel awkward, right? And the reality is that that might also impact the way that you're giving feedback or the way that your former peers actually act around you, because basically it becomes like a minefield of awkwardness. And as a group dynamic and as a leader, that's not the type of dynamic that you want in a team, right? Because that is not going to help both in productivity, but also to make sure that there is, psychological safety. So, what to do? I would say then there are two options. Option number one is to let the time to do its job and basically take a reactive approach and let it go and just wait for time to solve it. And there is the second option, which is taking a proactive leadership approach. And that means addressing the change that has happened and, first of all, acknowledging that there is a change happening and that relationship has to change, but it doesn't have to end. So the goal here is not to erase the friendship that you might have taken years to even grow, is to actually evolve it, right, into a new kind of professional relationship that is built on respect, is built on trust, and that your role now is not to be their best friends. And that might sometimes be hard to let go. And meanwhile, there is this dynamic in which you are managing a friend. You are not necessarily gonna be your best friend, their best friend, but you are there to be their best advocate. You are there to be their mentor. You're there to be the leader that supports and to enables them to succeed. And the fact that you're not necessarily their best friend, that doesn't mean that you cannot be friendly and warm, but without blurring the lines of those new responsibilities that you have, right? And here, what I would say and I would like to highlight is that authenticity and keep on your authenticity is the key. Not just because you got this new role, that means that you are supposed to act in a different way. The relationship changes, but of course, you show that you are still the same person and by being 100% yourself. So, what I would say here is let's acknowledge the fact that that change is happening and that as a team, we might be navigating it, pretending that nothing is different. That's what actually creates the tension, right? So, your actionable step here would be to take a moment to address this and to have a direct, warm conversation with your former peers. You can choose whether that's in a group setting or whether that is on an individual perspective, if that makes it a little bit more manageable. And just to say something like this: Hey, I'm really excited that I got this new role, but I'm also aware that that our relationship will feel a little bit different now. So what I would like to share with you is that my commitment to you is to be always fair and supportive and transparent as your team leader. And I do still value our relationship, and I want to make sure that we can both navigate this shift together. So as you can see, this conversation doesn't have to be heavy. This was literally just 30 seconds of the start of a conversation, and what it does is it just addresses and names the awkwardness in the room and reassures your team members about your positive intentions, and basically sets the foundation for how you will work together later on. Sending you all the best in that transition. You got this. And remember to lead as you are with courage, inclusion, and heart.